Hi, my name is Kostas and welcome to Nuclear Shoebox. Today we're going to talk about consumer radios. Those are basically which you call walkie-talkie, a small radio which you can just talk to your friends in a fairly short range, but probably if you're already watching this, you know what you're looking for. So we're going to look at Motorola T92 H20, which is waterproof and can float. So stay tuned. So let's look what's in the box. So the Motorola sends you this nice case, which is actually, as you can see, is half empty. Half empty with two walkie-talkies in the set. They send you these nice, well, I've opened them already, but they send you these things, which are both a whistle and a belt clip. You have two of those. You have two power cables, which are micro USB. Ironically, these are only micro USB, so you can't use them to, for example, plug in your phone. They only provide the power. You will also get the car charger, some instruction manuals, and of course two batteries which are rechargeable as well. The case is, in my opinion, is not properly designed, simply because, as you can see, the walkie-talkies have antennas, and although the case is fairly large, it's not that easy to actually take those out, and it's even less comfortable to put those back in. But I don't know. I'm not sure if you're going to be using that case too much, but if you are, then keep that in mind. Now we have two of those. So to look actually at the walkie-talkie itself, we have an emergency button here on the top. We have a external microphone, phone microphone jack. It's a 2.5 millimeters, I think. We have an antenna. We have a place for our belt clip. We also have an LED. We have the push to talk button. We have the configuration buttons, and we have the LED button turn on. Before we go into the menus, the LED actually has two sets. We can have a red one and a white one. The red one is actually for the dark time of the day. If you don't want your night vision to go away, you just turn on the red one and that's it. The cool feature is, and on this one as well, if you leave, I think, red one for 5 seconds, another press will actually turn off the LED rather than turning it white, thus making you lose your night vision. The white LEDs are right, but it's not something to write home about. Let's look at the menu. So the power button is here. You press and hold it and it will turn on. The screen is actually backlit, so there is no problem there. There is a pretty much simple menu. You click the menu button here, and the thing which you want to change will start blinking, so you can change the channel. You can change the privacy code, which is essentially just a narrower band field thingy. I don't know. So yeah, if you leave it blinking for some time, it will actually just assume that you've done configuration and go back into the its usual mode. However, so if you want to change something, you just have to press it multiple times. So let's go. So this is the main channel. This is the tone for the cold tone, because you have that button here which you can press and the radio will go and then somebody and your friends will know that you actually want to reach them. So the tone here, the iVox, this is the basically hands-free option, which doesn't really work well. It works well. It works as designed, let's say that. It has a couple of second delay. I think it's written in the manual as well. So when you start talking, the first probably syllable or two will be not heard. The second channel, you can set the second channel for this radio to actually scan on, and I will get at that in just a second. So the second channel also has the channel and the privacy code. You can set those as well. You can set the radio to vibrate if you don't want it to sing when the call button is pressed. you can turn the beeping sound of your buttons on and off. I prefer it to have to set that off, and the Roger beep here as well, which is very convenient because when you go and turn the radio, push the button to talk and release it, it will actually make a bloop sound, which will mean that the channel is open. And if you're not like me and you don't follow the protocol with all the overs and Rogers, that is pretty much convenient. Other than that, there is as I said, a call button and the channel scanning button, which you will actually scan the channels, and if any of the channels is open, it will show it here on the screen. The one thing which I also need to mention about the belt clip, although it feels flimsy, to be honest, but and it clips like this, and it doesn't feel really sturdy. However, I have to say this survived a small child test. So I was with my friends and their kid just grabbed one and spent half a day just holding it and carrying it, and this didn't break. This didn't get loose. It survived, which is I think that's a good test. The device itself feels alright, I guess. It feels a little cheap, to be honest, but what do you expect for the price? Yeah, so let's move on.
The audio quality is good, assuming there are no interference. The sound which comes out is clear and easy to understand.
So, as I said, the radio is waterproof, therefore, let me just take this out of the way. Therefore, the battery section is actually screwed in, so there are two screws which you have to unscrew to actually get into the battery. All the buttons are rubbery, all the ports, actually two of them, one is for, as I said, for the external things to connect, external headphones is snug, and the micro USB port is down here, which is also fairly snug fitted there. So when you close that, make sure it is fully closed so that the water won't get into that. Yeah. In the beginning of the video, I said that the range is fairly short. I haven't tested it extensively. The one thing I can say is it will work through the 7 floors of office building. We tried that. The glass, concrete, and steel. It will work at about maybe 2.5 miles range stationary, and we also tested this extensively on a road trip, and that is where I have my concerns just a bit. There were situations where the two cars were moving, and when you would go, hey, you want to stop for a coffee? The other guys would hear and all sorts of different sounds. Basically no clear signal, but then if you try that half a meter later, it will be clear. So these problems I haven't seen in when you're stationary or moving slowly, but on a fairly high speed, there is some issues which you either need to double check or I need to retest that. I'm still not sure what was that. Or that might be one of the car's particular issue. Don't know. But be aware that that might be present in your case. Another cool feature, and probably the main feature for me, was that it actually floats and is completely waterproof. Which is basically one of the many things, among other things, which can destroy a gear while you're out there, but still being able to float will probably increase your chances of actually coming back with a working radio back from a hike, for example. So not only that it floats the screen side up, and the LED will flash white periodically, so you can easily find it. Now be aware, though, I've tested it and it does float and works after that, but you have to actually dry it up. It doesn't have any options which would be able to spit the water out from the speaker. So probably 20 minutes, if you leave that to dry, then it will be fine. If you just pull it out of the water and try to talk, you basically will sound like a Darth Vader. One last thing to mention is that these guys operate in a specific bandwidth. And that bandwidth is not similar across the world. So in Europe we have PMR 466. I think that's the standard. In US you have FRS, and probably somewhere else you will have something different, maybe the same. I haven't checked. But the reason I know this is that the T92 is a European version, and if you're from US, or probably actually maybe even both Americas, check out the T600. That's the model for the Motorola. It is exactly the same. It also floats. It has all the features, and one more actually. You can hear the weather on this radio. So there are some channels which will basically forecast the weather all the time. And if there is a storm coming, and if not, you can hear that. That's a nice feature. This one doesn't have it. So a quick summary. If this is a great entry radio, essentially if you're in a situation where you need to call your friends somewhere and identify where they are, this can be a replacement. It's cheap, it works, and it is waterproof. What else do you need? So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this and found this useful. Don't forget to press all the buttons below, and have a nice day. Bye.